hello. And yes, don't judge me. I'm in my bedroom. I'm tired. I'm gonna do this live real quick. Then I'm going to get in the shower and go to bed. I didn't want to do all that before because I was like, I got on makeup and I'm dressed, so let's do this live real quick. I didn't want to take it off and then look crazy. So yeah, hello. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat and we can chat about or suggestions or just something that you want to talk about. So yeah, before I get in too far, I should just probably introduce myself. I'm One Tierra. People call me One. Of course, this is my channel, so welcome to One Word Beauty, where I talk about, mostly business and then also business as being a mother and then lifestyle and then like random videos with food because I love food. So yeah, it'll be a little vlogging. Well, not really vlogs, but a little bit of lifestyle videos. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. So today I just wanted to come on really quick because I'm excited because I revamped my business about a month ago and I've been implementing the things that I put in place. And yeah, today was that. Go shut the door. Yeah, that's my kids. So, Mama Your Life. So, yeah. So, what I was going to say is, I did a pop up event, my first one since revamping, and I exceeded my goal, of course, as you can tell by the title. So, yeah, and I was paying attention to a lot of things that did differently um, from other pop up events that I've done or had. And that's the main reason why I want to come on. So, yeah, I'm trying not to get in it too deep. I'm trying to wait for a few more people to get in, but I'll go in a few seconds because I will be leaving this live up. So, but yeah. So, pretty much, there was a pop up event in my area of Georgia, Central Georgia. Um, and I have three businesses, but I took my boutique out, Edge Control Boutique. I established it in November of last year, 2020, and I made good sales till the end of the year. And then January, February, March, I just kind of slacked off because I just wasn't feeling it and I was unsure. And it wasn't just because didn't want to do it or I didn't love it. It was just because I didn't have the plan really. Like I had a plan, but my plan didn't match what my business and branding was about. So I had to get refocused on that. And so after taking a little course and some time to think about it and rewrite everything and just actually make sure that things lined up with my business and what I had on paper as far as planning for my business made sense branding wise. And so I did that all of April and to get ready for May. Um, Hence, this pop up shop came up 2 weeks ago. So that wasn't initially in my plans, but it did come up 2 weeks ago. So I decided to do it. And so I added it to my planning board that I do every month. But this is the first month I actually wrote it on, like, instead of like paper or in my phone. This is the first time I've actually wrote it out on like a white dry eraser board. And I added, of course, today, day 1 of May, my goal for my pop up shop. And I included that for the month of May. Like, my goal is this certain amount. So I knew that I was having a pop up shop today that would start out at the beginning of not only the month but the week. So I set the week of May, the first week of May, higher than the rest of the weeks following in May because I knew I had that pop up shop. Not knowing what I would do and trying not to like dwell on the past of how I've done in pop up shops And I can blame that on a lot of things that I wasn't doing and that I lacked versus what I did today in order to see just not just growth, but how different and how successful you can be when you actually have a clear and concise plan that meshes together with your brand. Because it's different than, oh, I got this brand and oh, I got this plan. But if they don't coincide together, then it's a struggle with trying to understand or get someone else to understand your vision. So even though I had the vision, I had to figure out a way to communicate that vision to, you know, not just customers, but to everyone so that they can decide if they're my customer or not. And that is something different and that I feel is highly important and that you do was just that. Like literally, I explained my business to every single customer that came by my booth today, and I would really like to say that that is the cause of the success that I had. Now going back to other pop up shops, I had made typically I would make about at least at the most I made about $50, maybe $50 every pop up shop. Now some of those pop up shops I paid somewhere by 25 to $75 to be in these pop up shops. And for me to only make 20 to $50, you can see how that went. Happy about the sales, but I could have done better. And it said a lot about where I was and where I was back then. Now a little bit about myself, and it'll make sense to why I feel like also I'm successful today and going forward, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing now is because I had low self-esteem, low confidence in my business. I knew that I could do it. I just was shy. I didn't want to open up. I just felt like, okay, no one understands. Or I feel like if I open my mouth, people are gonna think it's stupid or not understand, or just kind of like a little bit of rejection, a little bit of self sabotage and self doubt. So when I would go to these pop up shops, even though I would be, very excited, I would be nervous. And even though I would have like everything planned out, I would also be nervous, like something could go wrong. And I had my things planned out somewhat like a store would because I worked retail before. So like I kind of had an understanding of planograms and how your store should look visually, pop up shops and all that. So I kind of use what I learned in retail in my boutique. So I have like focal points, have like aesthetics, like colors, schemes put together, types of styles put together, things like that. And then also I knew that I needed to have my branding, throughout, my pop up. And I do that every time. I do the setup the same, I kind of plan everything the same. But what I fail at is once I get there, I'm nervous. Takes a while for me to get out of that nervousness. And then even after I get out of it, I still kind of don't talk. Like I'm not the one to sit behind my booth because I do think that you should stand up and at least be visible. Because I feel like the more you stand, the more opening and welcoming you seem, approachable to your booth. If you sit there, then it's just like, okay, I see you, you're behind your booth. You don't seem as excited to be here. So why would I come up to you? Even if it looks good, like why would I come up to you if you don't look excited to be there yourself? But it wasn't that I was doing that. It was more that okay, I would stand up, but I wouldn't talk or engage with, customers, even if they weren't coming to shop with me or, just were walking past. Like I wouldn't talk to them. I wouldn't engage. I would just allow them to just keep going without, just a simple hey. Um, and then, just pretty much that. I think that's the biggest thing because that's the thing that I changed this time. So going forward today, I didn't really think about it. I just knew what I wanted. I knew it was time for a change. So today I wasn't as nervous as I was before. And I'm not sure where that came from, but I just know that I felt at peace or, clarified with what I was doing. So once I got everything set up, which was so much smoother, I got everything set up, ready to go. I had my signage up, like my 20 and under, my 10 and under. I had my QR codes ready to be read. My card reader was ready and things like that. And now, because I was clear on what I was going to do, I didn't really per se write down what I wanted to say as far as how to explain my business. I just knew I did not want to sound like it was rehearsed or like I were, rehearsing and remembering something. So I wanted to be natural, but I didn't really think too much about it. When my first customer came up, it's just like I opened my mouth and it came out. It was so natural. It was so easy. It was fun. And, what helped is once I finished saying what I had to say and, introducing myself and my business, the look on their face, they seemed very interested. And the time before when I did talk and open up about my business, they would just seem uninterested or they'll just look around. And I think it's because I had a different I kind of brought more of my personality and I brought more of a personality in my brand. So I wasn't just not myself. I was making sure that I implemented my personality with what was coming out of my mouth, make sure that matched, like my body language, of course, what you wear, and how I said it. And so it was just so easy. Like the look on her face was very, like she was very interested. Now she was an older lady, so that made it even better because it's like, okay, she understands, she likes it, and she's very interested after, talking with me. Then this seems like a good day. So she ended up buying two pair of my new glasses. So that was my first sale. And then after that, it was just like one after the other, one after the other, like ups and downs throughout the day. But I did not let anybody go by that I didn't speak to. If I spoke to them, if it was a hey to see like if I could continue talking to them. Other than that, if they were like really looking and just like staring at the booth, I spoke to them and then I, told them who I was and told them what my brand was, and then that would make them come to the booth, even if they were just going to continue to walk. If I was to say anything, they would have continued to walk on by. So the fact that I said my name, said my business, and that was it, I of course said hello. They came on to my booth because it was like almost like, well, let me see what she's saying, or okay, she's really trying to get me to understand her. She really wants me to come see, so let me go see. That's at least what I got from some of the customers. And when that happened, those people who were going to walk by end up purchasing at least one thing, at least. And some of them surprised me and spent like over $40, $50 at a time. So it's like, wow. So not realizing it at the time because it, like I said, it was picking up over and over and over. So I just kept regurgitating that same, you know, those same words, and it was just coming out so natural to me. It wasn't exactly verbatim, but the way I explained my brand and myself and how I presented it, through body language and, things like that and connected with them on their level, it was like a no brainer. And I had a good about 4 or 5 women come up to me after explaining, saying, "That's me." Like while I'm sitting there explaining, they're like, "Oh, that's me. You're talking about me." That made me feel really good, regardless of if they bought anything or not. That made me feel really good because it made me feel like I do have a customer. Because a lot of times I felt like, okay, I'm doubting myself because I feel like I don't have a customer, even though I know that there's someone out there that could be my customer. But that self sabotage and self doubt is what allowed me to think those things and to like sit there and talk about what I was passionate about, talk about my brand, what I created, my vision, and getting it understood by customers who don't even know me was like very good. And I loved it because it was like, even if they didn't buy, I understand and see now that I have customers and that they will shop with me if I just continue to open my mouth and continue to talk in that way of my branding so that they can understand my vision and make it exciting, of course. And like it felt so good to see those women go, oh, that's me. You're talking about me. Like in the sometimes I feel like with the with the society we're in today, or just in it, just general, like the trending kind of stuff, and having to do this and do that and fit in per se, or you know, try to keep up with the hottest trends. That's not what my brand is about. Yes, we have some cute things that are in season and in our trends, but we don't necessarily follow them unless they are us. And that's what my brand is about. And I made sure I told that to them. Like, and I use the word introverted. I was scared to use that word as well. I was scared to use don't want a lot of attention. Like I just was honest and clear about what my brand was, who my customer is. Like I literally sat there and told everybody who came to my booth who my customer is, what they do and don't like, and how they dress. And then once I finished that, I followed it up with, well, they wear, I followed it up with how they dress and how they prepare their attire for the day, like what that woman looks like. How does she build her, outfit for the day? So I literally ended all the conversations the same, started them the same, ended them the same, minus the random conversations in the middle, which are perfect because I got to talk to the customer, engage with them. So that's pretty much what I would consider being the reason, number one reason to my success as far as today. Like I said, in the past, I normally make $20 to $50 every pop up shop, and I would be there for 4 to 5 hours. Today it was a 4 hour pop up shop, and I made $400, and I'm just like in awe with myself because I put in the work. I knew I needed to change something if I wanted it to work, and I did that. Like sometimes we just have to admit where the faults are and change them if that's what we want to do, especially if we want to see growth. Hey, Mike, how are you? Glad you could come in. The pop up shop was great. That's what I'm in here talking about. It was so good. So, yeah, but talking and engaging with customers, y'all. Don't sit behind your booth. If you can sit, because I had to sit sometimes because it was hot. I was outside, and but it was very windy. The wind helped sometimes. It was beneficial for me and others, but as far as my setup, it was a little difficult trying to fight the wind, making sure my stuff doesn't fall over, which thank God that really didn't happen to me. I'm good. I wanted to come show love. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah. Don't sit behind your booth. Don't do that. Don't do that. I've never, like I said, I've never been the one to do that, but I also wasn't the one to always go and initiate conversation with the customer, even if they're walking by. Even if they're about to walk by, y'all, still talk to them. And just say something, because sometimes them like looking at you like, what is she saying? Makes them draws them in. So it's kind of like a little tactic. Like just say something to them, open your mouth, and it draws them in. Or if you see them like staring at something, then tell them, hey, come on in. I would like to know what you're looking at. Tell me what caught your eye, even if they don't buy anything. Because sometimes it's good to ask that question because you want to know what catches their eyes, so you'll know to continue to do it, and why it caught their eye. And then it also opens up conversation for you to um, talk about yourself and your business. And then you may have gained a customer. And like I said, that happened a few times today where people were just gonna walk on by, but because I spoke to them, stopped them, said who I was, then they were interested and they wanted to know more. And today, 99% of the time they bought. And that was my experience today anyway. So I'm gonna close there. So pretty much, y'all, I'm gonna say the do's and don'ts again. Don't sit behind don't sit behind your booth. Walk around, take a few breaks here and there, but walk around, engage with the customers to the left and right, to the booth owners to the left and right of you. So because I feel like when you do that too, the people on the outside don't see you as just, oh, I'm here for my boutique. When you engage with the ones to your, booth buddy, booth neighbor, whatever you want to call it kind of shows like openness. It makes it like, okay, well, she's open, she'll talk to you. So it makes them want to come to your booth and talk to you too when they see you engaging with other people and not just sitting around waiting on somebody to come look at your stuff because they may never do that if you're sitting behind your booth. But if you're up, moving around, engaging with whoever is around, like I said, the other shop, the other vendors, it looks good on the outside and it makes you more approachable. Um, Make sure you have clear signage. This was something different I did too. Like the signage I used to have before, I would either not have some or the signage I had was kind of like look it either looked rushed or it wasn't good. So this time I made sure I had clear, effective, bright, and make sure my brand was coming through those posters, like the 20 and up signs and 20 and under and 10 and under signs. They were, they look just like my brand. So just make sure you always keep branding in your mind. That is true. And I think that's because people have been more clear though, Mike. I really do feel like people are more passionate. People are finding out what they really want to do because it's easier to not just make money or sell, but when you have a passion about something, somebody else sees it, it's easy for them to support you. I think that's why, because I do agree with it. The event today was very well put together. It was nice. Like the empowerment was to the roof. The presence of God was to the roof. Like it was a beautiful day. Like as far as everybody coming together and supporting. Like I'm pretty sure everybody there was successful. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one that was successful. That is definitely not what this video is about. It's about how my experience though that I've had with my boutique and other pop-up shops within myself and my brand, how they compare it to the other ones and how this is the first successful one I've had because I was more clear, I was more effective and did things, differently and most importantly had a different and better mindset going into it. So yes, I'm sure I'm not the only one. But what you do and what you say and how you say it and how everything is set up can make the difference of how much more you can make and how much more you can get your brand out. Because sometimes people think that a pop-up shop is just to make money or make more money. But in my opinion, a pop-up shop is to get yourself out there more. It's more about visibility because you're actually in the person's face. You're seeing your customer eye to eye and you're able to talk and engage, whether they buy something or not. You just gained, visibility because whether they bought something or not, they're going to talk about you to someone else or, you know, shop with you online, things like that, especially if they show a lot of interest. Hey, Brittany, glad you could come in. Thank you. I'm gonna try to go live more. I'm pushing myself tonight. I'm tired, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm tired. I was up late last night getting the pop up shop, getting stuff ready for the pop up shop, and I'm. It was all worth it. Let me say that the late being up late was well worth it. Well worth it. So yeah. But other than that, now the goal is to try to continue that same push online because brand pushing out your branding and getting people to understand and be clear with your branding is way more difficult online than it is in person because you don't have that customer interaction and that face-to-face interaction. And then of course the touching and the feeling of the items in hand, all that is just taken away when you're online. So you have to put in a whole lot more work online And I feel like I've been doing a very good job online as far as what I've done in the past. And that's just because I self sabotage. Like I'll create the plan, but don't even finish or don't post like I'm supposed to. It's like I have all these, everything is always planned out, y'all, but I just never do it. Like I gotta really make more sacrifices when it comes to, personal life sometimes to get the job done and not just end up wasting paper on a plan and then for last month and never doing it. So this time, like I said, I got my dry eraser board instead of a like pen and pad, and I think that's what's helping because it's like literally beside my bed, and so I guess I see it every day. And so for the month of March for my boutique brand, I'm already I would say about 40% of the way to my monthly goal, which is has never happened before. So I'm excited about that. I'm not gonna speak too soon, but like I said, I want to record my lives more and be more transparent with my journey into growing and revamping my business and overcoming self doubt and low self confidence, especially being a business owner and mom. You have to deal with that too. So yeah, I'm like almost halfway to my goal for the month of May, and that is in alone is exciting for me. Like I made $400 in one day, and all of that is just going back to my business. That's the thing about boutiques. Like you have to reinvest and reinvest until you get to that point in the future of the goals you're trying to make. So I got a long way to go, but it's a great start, and it's May the 1st, and I pray that y'all businesses grow. I pray that whatever you're doing grows, whatever ventures you're on grows, and that you continue to strive and be consistent like I'm trying to be. Um, so I'm gonna get out of here and I'll be back next week. I'm gonna try to go live once a week about whatever I feel like I need to. I don't really like my lives to be too planned because I feel like it's alive. I want to be transparent. I want to be random, but still give good content. So I hope to see you all and more on here later or next week. Also, be looking forward to other videos dropping as well. So if you have not, I am one again. One Word Beauty is my channel. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100, y'all, by next Friday, 100 subscribers. I got like 80 something right now. So please, please, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, I'm going to get out of here because I don't think anyone else does. I'll be on for a few more seconds if they do, but please comment or just comment anything that you got from this or comment anything that you could support me with in your knowledge going forward, any suggestions. Um, but yeah, hit the notification bell and subscribe, and I will see you wonderful bosses next week. All right. Bye. Thank y'all. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Mike, for coming on tonight. See y'all later.